Hello, everyone. We are very happy to host you on this conference in our presentation on photography in coaching, making the future visible. I'm Dorota Raniszewska, and I'm fascinated by photography as a means to experience and to express ourselves, as well as to connect. I work as a coach with individual people, with groups. And I've been developing photography in coaching for some time already. And today, with my colleague Bara Belova, we invite you to see how our personal photos connect us to what is important, to what is the essence, and how they can help us to build bridges to the future. Bara.
Hello, everyone. As you see, sometimes even the recording of the session it can be interrupted. Might be children or might be dogs and cats. So my name is Bara Belova, and together with Dorota, I would like to bring you today a session together about how the personal photography can be used in coaching. I primarily do work as a manager, but I'm also a coach and mentor, currently in a multinational environment. So I think that I can add up a little bit analytical business thinking to what we do while we are using also the photographies.
So today we will start by demonstrating a live session with photography. And I will be acting as a coach during the presentation, and Bara will be the coachee.
At the end of the session, we will guide you through a short debrief from the coachee and coach perspective. Additionally, take you through the process we will be doing using photography in coaching, and finally invite you to a Q&A session. So, Dori, should we jump directly into it? What do you say?
Yes, of course. Why to wait? I hope everybody is curious to see our session. So for this session, I have proposed to Bara to choose and to bring her most important photo. Let me shortly tell you what is it, the most important photo. So the most important photo is a photo that the client is choosing deliberately from her photos, from family album, from life, that were kept, these photos to remember important moments and people in life. So they connect us, these most important photos, to what is important for us, to what is the essence of who we are, of our life experience. And in the presentation today, we will show you how the most important photo can help in future career development. Bara, as a topic for your session, you mentioned that you would like to explore more your professional life. Would you like to tell something more about that?
Yeah, I think it's necessary that we give the audience a little bit of background. So, like I mentioned before, I'm a manager in a corporate business environment. My position had not officially changed in the last year, but there had been a lot of changes ongoing, a lot of transformation. So my job content and the responsibility had changed. There were different strategies. So partially, what I'm missing in the current job, it's the opportunities, or these are the opportunities, I would say. So from the operational perspective, as I had the responsibilities before, I directed my attention much more, and the energy also, to the learning and development, like I mentioned before. So it's a kind of natural thing for me, because learning is my passion. So I do provide leadership training. I design the training. I design the soft skills training. I'm acting as a coach, as a mentor. but I still have this kind of feeling. There is this kind of sadness for something which is not there anymore, and something unofficial which is also not there anymore. So I feel like in kind of state which is vague, and I really don't know, like a void state, I would maybe call it. And I would like to know really what professionally I can do next, I would say.
So I hear many times the word change and various changes and something missing, kind of a sorrow also, and where to go or what to do next, as you said. How would you set the goal for this session for you?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and you know that I had been using the most important photo also in your workshop, so it was easy for me to take it now. But I really would like to find out what direction to take, what kind of skills I can rely on, and make them actually make the use of them in my future career, whatever it might be. I just really looking for this, so the direction.
So the direction, skills, capabilities, what would be the desirable result for this session for you? Like really, really something at the end of the session.
I would like to know which direction to take in my professional life. That would be the easiest, I think. Which direction to take in my professional life.
And what would be the criteria for knowing the direction?
I don't know at the moment. I think it's for me it's much more a feeling, like it's like feeling of being ready, like you have everything and you are really ready for the journey.
So feeling of being ready. And on the scale from 0 to 10, when 10 is maximum, you mentioned
it's
operational.
I know.
The decision, how do you feel now on this scale?
I think that, I am kind of ready. I would say 8, I think, but I still don't know. Like it's really like I know I'm going somewhere, but I really don't know what to take, what to put in the backpack. Like you would be going on a trip, I would say.
Yeah. What to put in the backpack. So we had that idea, Bara, that we could use your most important photo so you can see how you can connect, to what is really important for you in life, in career. Yes. Do you want to still use it?
I would love to try it for the career because I've been using it for different areas and different aspects in my life. So I would really like to see how it works. So should I show it? Should I take it? What should I do?
Yes. Well, this is basically your decision, whether you want to show or not. So what would be your decision?
Okay. I think it's really necessary. It's a beautiful picture. I'm not so sure if this is it visible now?
Yes, I can see it very well. So probably the other people who will watch also can see it.
Okay.
Well, I can see this is inside a room and a black and white photo. You want to say something about this photo?
Yeah. So this is a picture of me and my grandmother. I don't remember how old I was there, but it's in my parents' flat at that time. It must be something like a Christmas time because I see there the Christmas decoration. We are both sitting on the couch, looking at the direction where they had the television. So I'm sure that we had been looking maybe at some television program like Fairy Tales. I'm leaning on her, and And it's a beautiful picture, one of the nicest picture I find out with my grandmother. They had a beautiful relationship.
So let me ask you directly the question about that photo, and to all who see us. This is like the first question I'm always asking about a photo, and you know this. What is important to you in this photo, Bara?
I think it's it's this kind of peace. Like I'm sure that everything, everything's fine. I feel safe, comfortable, like being taken care of. She's hugging me with a hand, so I'm really leaning toward her. So it's, for me, like it's a very, very, very safe place, and I'm feeling okay.
So being taken care of and feeling safe, feeling okay. What is possible for you, Bara, when you are being taken care of, feeling safe?
I think that, in terms of possibilities, I'm not afraid to take any action. So I think the opportunities are there, and I think that I can always know that I can return to that place, where I can feel actually safe. It's like me always coming to her when I did something wrong or even good. So so this.
And what could be this place for you today in your career? Kind of a safe where you can return?
I think that this is the place where I work right now, right? I worked there for 8 years already, so it must be a safe place because I'm returning there all the time. It's the place where I have friends, colleagues. I already have a kind of established position, so I think that I feel useful. It's like in the picture, actually, like I'm actually thinking it's really like in the project, like I feel fine. I'm exploring other projects, like I told you, doing this mentoring, coaching programs and everything. But I always have a management team where I belong to, and it might be it. It might be it. It's an interesting observation.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm hearing about this importance of a place, but where you belong, and it's like in the photo. This is a place where you belong, and to something you are together, being taken care of. Yeah. So knowing now that it is important for you to be part of something and to have this safe place, that enables you to take actions. What would you like to explore now? Which direction to take, or what to put in the backpack?
I think it's still about what to take with me, because I still don't know. I think that, when I'm thinking about it right now, I think that I know I have things. I know I have capabilities. I know that there are opportunities, and I think I'm ready for something. Maybe nothing big, but just really the place of safety is good. I don't desire big changes, but I don't know, what to put in the bag for the next journey. How to do that.
And what would this little girl in the photo put in the backpack?
Chocolate. Chocolate. A lot of chocolate. A lot of chocolate, a lot of sweets. Some books. Some toys to play with. Yeah, some toys to play with, something to paint, like pastels or something that I can draw, something like this. Yeah, bonbons and chocolates. At that time, I think it was it.
Chocolates, books, something to draw. What these objects make possible for her?
Well, I think that, from the, she needs to survive. She needs to eat. I think that this is what she knows, but she likes to have joy, I'm sure, with the sweets. I think that the connection that she needs is the toy, at that time I think I had a bear, but he was too big to put in the backpack. So the connection to something, so not to feel alone. And I think that, to play with, she likes to really read, so to do interesting stuff and to express herself, I think, somehow, to enjoy herself somehow. So something to have fun, connect, something to survive. She needs to eat. So at least I think that this is what she would do for the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, so something to survive, to connect, to enjoy. How does it match to your current capabilities you want to take with you?
Survive. I think that I think that that I also like to have a safe place, but I like to have this kind of small exploration. To enjoy. This is the connection, the environment that I have at the job currently with my peers, with my colleagues, with my boss. So I feel the connection, and I have joy as well. And what was the last thing I said?
Joy, connection, and
joy, and feeling of safety.
Survive, and just mentioned that
survive, connection.
Have that in the current. If you have that in your current job, so what is the reason to pack, Bara?
What is the reason to pack? I think that there is something, again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. There is something which is missing, and I'm thinking what it is. if we compare it to the objects that I have described, like that I have them now. So something is missing in the backpack. And I don't really know what it is, what I don't need now. And even if you asked, so what is the reason to pack? I just think I need to be ready.
When we started, you said that you feel ready at that moment. And then you wanted to explore more what to pack. Now I understand that you are like discovering a bit that the place where you are is quite good, but something is missing.
Something is missing, yes. Something is missing.
And what would the grandma in the photo tell you?
She would probably tell me that, that I have everything, that I have everything I need. Yeah.
And what do you think?
If I'm thinking about, if I compare or if I'm thinking about the picture from the perspective, not now about, career, but how I was moving out from the flat and so on. But I always had the place where I can actually return. It's fine. So I always wanted to go and explore, right? I always wanted to go and then return. And I think that this is kind of similar in relation to the job. I like to have the variety ready. I don't like to have just one thing. I think that I'm seeking for the variety of things to choose from. But I'm looking, but it's not always, but it's also important to have one place where you can return and working on things that stimulate you in terms of joy or intellect, information, gaining information. I think that, for me, this kind of exploring trips are really important to get the information.
So again, I'm hearing that you're like in the photo, in this safe place, when you can explore, there is this wish to explore, and you are sure that you can come back. So this enables you to explore. So what would you like to know now?
I think that when I was speaking to you now, I think that for me it's important to realize that that I need this exploring options, working on various projects, because this is something which really stimulate my my learning, the intellect. And I'm gaining information, and I love information. And but I also like this kind of feeling of belonging that I have in that one place. And I think that this is the reason why I actually never left this job, because I feel there the connection. This is very important for me. And I enjoy the connection. I enjoy the joy. I enjoy the relationships that we have there. And, but I also enjoy the side trips. So I need to be ready for the trips and maybe get back always just to gain something, use something, and so on. And then actually when I'm saying that, this is what I'm doing. This is actually what I'm doing in the last 3 years, very heavily, I would say. This is it.
I'm hearing that you're in a good place, in the sense that you have the connection, which is so important for you, and this safety to come back. You like to explore, you have been exploring, but recently, is there anything that happened with this exploring, and how you can look at this now?
Yeah, I think that, yeah, like I mentioned, I have great people around me, really, and this is not, you know, it's not an advertisement. It's really, for me, great people. I'm a part of a small management team. This is also important. A small, like a kind of homey feeling. I have good, you know, good peers, good friends there. I have a great boss. But as the line of business has changed, as I'm focusing mostly on the development now, and they are focusing on the business, I feel this certain disconnection. So I feel connected to them still as I was before, but as we don't have too much that I can actually share from my operational experiences. I don't do the operations anymore, much more special projects and other stuff. I think that what I'm looking is really someone that would develop me in that area, because I am not being developed in this area. I only develop myself. And I do that still. But I think that for me to even feel safer there and better there, I would love to have someone that I can learn from. I do have that person. I'm actually thinking about it. I do have that person in one of my great colleagues, who is also a coach for a long career, almost really 40 years. And this is now something which I can actually utilize. So maybe I can maybe I can direct myself to that direction and look for more people that would be developing me in that area. Maybe I can find them at work as well. I don't have to look for them outside. So maybe this.
So how that connects to your questions about the direction to go and what to pack in the backpack, actually?
If I'm thinking about what to put in the backpack, besides what I have there already, I think I would really maybe look for more of this connection, for someone, you know, to someone I can connect to in professionally, to get the information I need, or I long for. It's not about needing, it's more about really longing for. And maybe I can look for more alliances at work and ask for the development as well. That could be one thing that I can do.
Is this then a moment to make kind of an action plan, what you can do soon? Or shall we stop for the presentation reasons?
Yes, yes, I think, yeah. I think that, I think that would be, there would be a moment where I would just review what I already have in the backpack, and really describe what I need, including the action that I will actually do to feel safer, to know And that would be the direction that I was actually looking for, right? Because I was looking for the direction and I was looking for what to put in the backpack. So I think that by describing it, listing the items that I would need for the journey, and taking the action would not only fill my backpack, but it also drives me to the direction that, or to directions actually, that I can actually take. Yes.
For me, that would be also,
that could be.
For me, this would be also a moment to propose you now to wrap up this session with what you can do, taking into account what you just explored and discovered, that the place you are connected and you feel safe. You can go exploring, but come back. So it's like in this photo that gives you this feeling of safety that is important for you to try new things. And then also to see how in the current place you can, well, debriefing right now, of course, this is not what I'm saying to you as the coachee, we are debriefing, and to explore that alliances and someone to connect to more in the current place.
Yeah, it really, I think it really matches it perfectly, because this is what I enjoy, and I think that for me the connection, like I mentioned, it's very important. I really don't like to work alone, and just the realization of this, even if I mentioned it before, but I think I didn't know how strong it is. It is there. Yeah, that's it.
You mean that this kind of an insight that you don't like to work alone, but you prefer to stay in the place where you connected to a team, to mentors.
Yeah.
That was kind of the important insight. Yeah. How was this use of a photograph for you helpful?
You know, it was first of all, it was very interesting that, and I have been using the picture in your workshop that I had with you last year, and when I look at the picture first, interesting was that I immediately, this is a black and white picture, and I immediately remembered the colors, right? When I was using it in the previous workshop with you, it was more about the emotions that I felt there, because the topic was different. Here it was, I felt very nice, even if I had a lovely lovely relationship with my grandma, and I loved her very much, and I'm sure she loved me very much too. But it was interesting how quickly I jumped into the story, and there was a one story that I had in mind. And when I was talking about the sweets, you know, that she put in the backpack, I remember that I did even tease my grandma with running around and hiding myself with the box of chocolate or something. And she was looking at me around the flat, which was not big, but that was my way of really going and exploring and being alone, but always coming back to her. And I think that this kind of story connected to what I mentioned about my job, how I like to be there, belong there, but I also like to go and explore something different, and how I need this figure that I can also learn from, you know, that would develop me in that area, that would support me. Interesting.
Yes, interesting. And it was all that's what always fascinates me, you know, like we really don't know, even ourselves, we don't know, but somewhere in these important photos that we are so emotionally connected to, we can find kind of an essence of our experience. So for me, that is not obvious at all, that you need to have a safe place to come back to explore. Everyone is unique, everyone is different, but having such an insight, from my perspective, hearing to you is kind of an enlightenment, an important indication about choices.
I feel lighter now as well, not only enlightened, I feel really light in this terms. It's really strange, that, how I felt like something is missing. And when I name it, what is missing, there was a certain feeling that really like, wow, I got it. Now I got it. I can work with it. So you could, thank you.
So you could feel that moment when you somehow you had that kind of an aha moment, yeah? Yeah.
Well, that was what I described at the beginning, that it's really basically for me about the feeling, like I would know, right?
Yes.
So
exactly.
love it.
Yes. Well, for me, when you work with your photo, because in fact, this is for you to be able to connect to this essence, to the things you probably unaware, yet they are unconscious, but you bring them to consciousness. So that's why I'm always saying, like, it's up to you to decide whether you want to show me the photo or not, because basically this is, I'm listening to you and the questions follow what you're saying, but for you, it's, it's a bridge to connect to your inner universe.
Yes.
And but even for me, it's in the role of a coach, this creates a feeling of being on a journey, and to connect to your story in a very human way, to be a human being really, who is so allowed and accepted and invited to your private sphere that is created in space, created by this photo. And
sure.
I can tell you that very often I'm seeing that these most important photos, as we call them, they help to connect to what sometimes is suppressed or hidden, for instance, at work, because we play roles and we don't use fully all our capacities as well as elements of personalities while being in these roles. So using some insights generated from the personal life photo can help to find insights for the professional one and somehow integrate that and better understand what is driving me, on what is beneath the some feelings and the way we experience things.
And I would maybe just really like to add up to that, because we both worked with also with coaching tools. I'm not so sure if this is really a place where I can say it, but we do work with the coaching tools as well. We are using photography in coaching for years already, both of us. And for me, it's really it was really amazing realization last year, that I found how powerful and how different is a use of personal photographies that the client chooses from his personal photos, rather than to use photographies that had been taken by someone else. It's also great, and I love it, but this is like totally different. It's like I felt like I am having, and I always feel it, like I am having a session with myself, right? I am going deep into into my life, and I'm seeing that everything.
So maybe this is also a good moment to show a few slides to summarize that. But I personally agree with you that using existing photos, like a deck of photos, that are a certain collection, and we can use them to trigger mind, emotions, thoughts, associations, because they work as metaphors. They provide us with a lot of, elements in the photo that we connect to, and our thinking is developing based on them. Then the use of personal photos, where we know all the story that is behind. And what is so special is that these photos we keep forever, usually. They were taken on purpose. So, and they were also kept on purpose. And usually, most of the moments in our life, important moments, we try to remember them by taking photos. So when a child was born, when there was a wedding, when I've graduated from school, or an important, holiday event, I've climbed to the mountain, and several others. I call it, the personal glory moments of personal glory. So when I achieved, or I had an important relationship, I fulfilled the dream. So we keep these moments in our memory, but we keep them in our photos. And for me, that's a big reason to use them, because we can quickly connect and come back and to, discover needs, important emotions that we need to feel in life in order to self-realize our values, relationships, all these abundance of resources that we have, and having this awareness of them. It's a good moment to point to think, to talk about the future. So how about if I share quickly slides? We just prepared 2-3 slides to wrap up. Voila, this is your most important photo. So now everybody can see it closer, and you can, by looking at this photo, you can connect to probably to this feeling of safety and being taken care of. So just to wrap up, why we use these personal photos, they are important and they have unique meanings for us. There is a story behind each photo we keep. Someone once took that photo. So there was already a decision, an important moment on our relationship, or a feeling that someone took a photo. Maybe someone gave this photo to me, to you on an occasion, and I have kept that photo also for some reason. And when we use them in the coaching sessions, in personal development programs, which I'm also doing quite a lot, there is a reason why I chose that photo and brought to the session. So definitely there are many things important about it, and this is why we can definitely use them, because they are important in our lives. There are several ways of using photos. Today we have worked with the most important photo. Important is the process of choosing. So a lot happens already before the session, before the workshop, when a client is choosing a photo. It really needs to go through several photos and memories. And there is a lot of reflection going on in terms of what is this essence? What is really my core personal life experience that is making me who I am? And the most important photo is, as I said on the beginning, it's connecting us to something meaningful, to our needs, to our values, to our core experience, some elements of our personality that it's good to embrace and to accept. And this is also what happens. I see that when using a photo, that sometimes those insights can be surprising, unexpected. But since you have that emotional connection to the photo that is important, it creates this opportunity to embrace them, accept them, and have this sometimes compassion to ourselves, acceptance, not so much judgment, So it's a very generic process, in fact. Yes.
Maybe I can really add up something to it. And I think you've named a lot of things. I think that really, that the things that are happening at the coaching session or at the workshop that we are actually using, the photography, it's just like a top of the iceberg, because behind that, it's a lot of time that the client, me in this case, is spending or had spent with choosing the picture. So there is already a journey behind that, a safe journey for the client. We always want to establish a safe environment for our clients, and they have this kind of safe environment when they are going through the picture and going through the stories in their own terms, in their own pace, in the way they actually want to. So this is very important thing that that we are actually doing, that even the preparation, it's like a part of the coaching process as such, the way we actually know it.
That's fully agree, correct. And there is also a lot about trust, about confidence to show your personal photo. Many people ask me, because I'm teaching these techniques, ask me, how can I use the personal photos with executives? But if you work one-to-one and you build the trust, it's sometimes worth to try. I have heard recently an example of someone who needed to work on the kindness and the empathy, the elements of the leadership style, and using a personal photo from representing a moment from private life helps the executive, to this manager, to see that, oh my God, yes, I have these elements of kindness. I can be empathetic, and I do have this care about others, and but I'm not using this at work. So this was a very good moment to ask what's so different, what causes, what are the emotional realities at work. So very interesting how we can bridge between this personal sphere of lives and professional one, to see a full picture of ourselves. It's a very generic process with the most important photo. But we wanted to show also another example today. There are various examples, but just to let you know that the most important photo is not the only way we can use a photo. And we would like to talk shortly about self-portrait in the future, which I love this exercise, this process very much, because this is a process of envisioning, arranging, and taking a photo, a picture of myself in the future. So based on some insights, but still going on with the exploration, I'm asking the clients to, having the insights, to arrange a self-portrait in the future. So it involves really going into that situation, connecting emotionally with the body, with the situation, dressing, arranging, going into a certain mood, and having a shot. Yeah, having a shooting. So it means that the future you're thinking about, you're talking about during this session, suddenly you're really arranging and doing it. And you even already had a photo of that, and each photo is from the past, of course. So it's really like going in a fast track to your future. And then during the session, we'll discuss what happened during the process, what was the experience, and how that photo illustrates the future, what is important in that photo, and so on. And here you see your example, Bara, also from the workshop you've done. There's something very interesting between your most important photo and the self-portrait in the future. But I would love to comment that shortly if you allow, but maybe before you want to say a few words about this self-portrait in the future.
Yeah. I think that was the most difficult task I had for your workshop, to create a self-portrait of myself in the future. I was very resistant to it, but then it was very quickly done. I knew what I wanted, how to actually do that. There's a series actually of the pictures like that. I think that the whole series is very funny, my dog played with me, not me with him, so he was interfering into the process. But it's a beautiful remembering that I actually have on that. Where I see it, sorry?
Yeah, I just was asking about the meaning of that photo for you.
Yeah, I think that it's again this kind of relax, everything's okay, it's fine, I don't have to do things, I'm just enjoying I'm enjoying the moment. And if you would just quickly go back for the picture, yes. Can you show the picture, the previous one?
Yes, voila.
Just look at the leaning, you know, I'm leaning toward the grandmother from that perspective. Go back to if you can go back to the self-portrait, it's the same thing. I'm leaning as well. I'm on the couch, even if it's a different one, but also with a place where that I currently call home.
Yes.
So, and if I see around, I have the sweets there on the table. My dog's toy is there, so there is also this kind of similarities that I actually see.
Yes. Well, on the
very nice.
Yes, on the visual level, what I can observe is that both photos are taken at home on a sofa in a relaxed and safe moment, connecting to someone, to the grandma on the previous one, here to the dog. So connecting to someone who is the person that is important. And but there is also something very interesting that in the most important photo, you are a child and you're being taken care of. That's exactly what appeared. These were your words from the session. That is so important, to be taken care of. And here you're really like almost taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and others.
Yeah,
and others.
And it's not a child, not an inner child, but an adult. And this was also what happened in the end of the session, how you can now take care of yourself and really take some action. So I could see some kind of narrative here and connections, which I find simply beautiful, inspiring, fascinating, and so authentic and so dear.
Yes.
And really thank you, Bara, that you were open and ready to show these two photos to all of us here, all of the people who will see that, because it's not obvious. So big gratitude to you, big thank you for that opportunity to see something real that was prepared, chosen, arranged, in the first one chosen, in the second one arranged in a real situation. So really the last slide, we can use in coaching personal photos, which we talked about today. We can use these ready kit photos, symbolic photos. They are also very good. We didn't talk about them today. And we can take photos during the coaching. The self-portrait in the future was just an example. There are others, like taking photos as a technique to complement the life coaching and working with good habits, like for instance, going outside, seeing beauty in the world around you and taking photos. So there are various ways of using them. And the benefits, the rationale for using is, first of all, the self-awareness. So by working with photos, while working with photos, there is a big element of observing and expressing and connecting with what I see, what I express. There's always this emotional connection to the photo. Something very unique that in one photo, past, present, and future can come together. So it can be very helpful in integrating elements of your experience, personality, and so on. It connects to what is important because we keep in memory, our brain, our memory keeps what is important, and we keep it in the photo. Action taking. So we are not only talking, we are choosing, taking photos, taking action. This is about taking actions. And very much in transforming self-perception. Anything we should add here, Bara, to close that session?
I think you nailed it by saying already everything. I think that this is a topic which really requires much more deep thinking and learning, I would say. And personally, I think that everybody needs to really be able to experience it, so that that the people actually understand how it is when you do work with pictures during a coaching or therapeutical psychological session. You take pictures, you use different tools, or you use the personal photos. I think that for me, and I think I've told it before, what is important, it's really the connection with yourself. So when we really want clients to connect with themselves, and when in the coaching we say that we already have all the answers in us, so we need to connect on our deeper, on an inner wisdom, on something inside which tells us this. And I think that this is the key element, that you open up you call it a bridge. I maybe say you open up a gate to something, to the unconscious things that we have in ourselves, and that you can actually take them slowly, your pace, your choice, and work with it. So you look for the answers. No one is actually pushing you. And I think, because you know what is inside. And I think that this is really important when we speak about using the photographies in coaching. This is very important for me. So you make the client, like you name it, self-aware. The integration is in the connection, and the client knows what is important. You don't push it on them. Plus, we didn't show the action time, but it's a transformation. It's really a journey. It's a transformation thing when you are using the photographies, I would say.
Thank you, Bara. And from coming back, just the last word to what you just said, you need to experience. For those who would like to smoothly, gently, delicately, with smaller steps, try out using photography. What you can do is, when you go to your client, can be a manager in his office Or maybe you're meeting in Zoom with your client, and when you see a photo on the desk, or usually a personal photo on the desk of this executive, or you see a photo behind the person on the wall, you can start a small chat and ask, I see a photo here, and you will see very often people will tell you something, and this will help to connect on a very personal level. So just a simple idea to start with photography and coaching.
Yeah.
Okay, this is, I think, time to finish the session. Thank you, Bara.
Thank you, Dori, for guiding me through my journey.
Thank you for your openness and sharing.
And thank you also to all of you who had watched the video, come to the sessions. So use, like Dori mentioned, use the photography. So your photographies, your values are actually talking to you from them.
Thank you.